today I'm here with special guest Sabaa Tahir, author of An Ember in the Ashes and the sequel, A Torch Against the Night, which comes out in August on the 30th, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, so exciting. So An Ember in the Ashes was your debut novel.
It was, yes.
So tell me about the experience writing it and how the last year has been since it came out.
So they couldn't be more different. The first 6 years that I spent writing it were totally in a writing cave. I didn't like hang out with people. I was super just doing my writing. And then the book got picked up by Penguin and it got published, and in the last year I've gone all over the place. I've been all over the United States and I've been to Canada. I've met so many great readers and other writers and authors, and it's just been beyond all my expectations. I am so lucky.
Yeah.
Like, so thankful. The second one was definitely more difficult to write. So like, I sometimes joke that my first book was my Everest, but book 2 was my K2. It's like, yes, it's like, you know, not the highest mountain in the world, right? But it's still really hard to climb.
Yeah.
And so I definitely struggled sort of to discipline myself and get the writing done. But I hope that for other writers out there who struggle with that, that'll be encouraging, because you know that. Like,
yeah, I mean, it must be a good feeling.
You know, at least you know other writers still have that problem. So, and then once I finished, it was an awesome feeling.
That is so good to hear. So for those of us who don't know, can you give us the rundown on An Ember in the Ashes?
Sure. An Ember in the Ashes is a young adult fantasy. It's about a girl named Laya who's fighting for her freedom. She lives in an empire where her people are really oppressed, and her brother is taken from her by empire soldiers and thrown into prison for treason, and she's trying to get him back. The other character in the book is Elias, and he is a soldier of the empire, and he does not want to be a soldier anymore. All he really wants to do is be free of sort of this burden that's been laid upon him. But before he can do that, he's ordered to participate in a series of tests that will decide who the next emperor is. And then when they meet, things happen.
There's so many intricate and like well thought out details in a book like this. Do you have a system where you're keeping track of all of these details in a fantasy novel, or
yeah,
do you sort of just know in your soul everything that's going on?
I think a lot of it I know, but I don't have like the memory capacity to remember everything. So
Right.
I do have like a style sheet, and I have a lot of background information.
Yeah, with everything like broken down.
Yeah, and it's sort of like the iceberg rule, right? I mean, you have to have everything under the waterline, but what you show is only the tip of the iceberg.
What do you think is the best part about your job?
Getting to write every day for a living, it's a gift, and one that I really fought for, and I'm just over the moon that I get to keep doing it, because I think a lot of writers have the same feeling as I do, which is not that you want to write, but that you must write, that you have to. It's a need, and that's absolutely how it is for me. So the fact that I get to keep doing that is incredible.
And you were talking about how you worked on this one for such a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that journey like?
It was, you know, for the first 2 years I was working as an editor at the Washington Post, so I was working late at night, and it was really funny because like all my coworkers were these like super cool journalists who were writing these like hard-headed like Pulitzer Prize winning books, and I was like, oh, there's my YA fantasy.
Right.
You know, so that was sort of funny, but then eventually I left and sort of focusing on it more, and that is when I really started committing to the book and being like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It took 4 more years after I quit my job, so it was intense, and it was also learning to write, you know, figuring out how to tell a story, how to do it effectively, and then editing. Oh God, editing. Like, you know about editing.
Always.
You know,
So we were just talking earlier about other YA authors. I was just wondering, who would you co-write a book with if you could pick any YA author right now?
I would co-write a book with Renee Attia. She wrote The Wrath and the Dawn, and it's one of my favorite books of last year. She's also my best friend.
Nice.
so we get along. So that would be cool, yeah. Renee, let's do it.
So my final question is, I like to ask, what message do you hope your readers take away from you and your novels?
I really hope that my readers take away just one thing, which is that, you know, hope is stronger than fear, and it's stronger than hatred. And as long as you have it, you can get through a lot. That was something that I learned throughout sort of tough childhood, and it really saved me in the end. So I hope they take that away from it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So thank you so much for being here. I will leave more information about An Ember in the Ashes in the description, and A Torch Against the Night is coming out so soon. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's been great, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.